Welcome to the channel. The Cat's Quarters is a new video series I am creating. I plan to release a new episode every Sunday on both my X account and here on YouTube. In this series, I will pick what I think are the top 5 Tesla news stories of the week. I will then rank them in terms of importance or business impact and provide additional commentary on each story. The most important news story will be the last one, so make sure to watch until the end. There are a lot of really great accounts that share Tesla news, so I would try and make this series a little different. The content will be focused on stories and topics that I think Tesla investors would or should find important. I will try and keep the videos short and easily digestible. I hope you like it and follow along with me every week. Coming in at number 5, we have the imminent launch of the Model Y Performance in the US. At a price of $57,490, or $9,000 more than the premium all-wheel drive version, the Y Performance doesn't qualify for the 1.99% interest financing available on the other Model Y trims. But it did launch with free interior and exterior features, meaning you can select any paint color, white interior, and the tow hitch for no extra cost. I estimate that approximately 10% of the Model Y sold are the Performance model. So this launch will help premiumize Tesla's portfolio and increase the blended average selling price of Model Y in the US. Right on time too, since Tesla will now be able to capitalize on the seasonally strong Q4 to try and sell as many of these things as possible. Coming in at number 4, we have not one, but 2 stories out of South Korea this week. The first one being the launch of Cybertruck. While not the first international market to get Cybertruck, that honor belongs to Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. South Korea is definitely the most important one by market size and appetite for Tesla. After China and the United States, South Korea is Tesla's third largest market, and South Korea is Gigafactory Shanghai's largest export market. This is a big deal. Year to date through October, Tesla has delivered around 50,000 vehicles in the South Korean market and is projected to end the year with over 60,000 vehicles delivered. This is roughly double 2024 sales and is a result of South Korea's obsession with the revamped 2026 Model Y. Cybertruck's success remains to be seen, but if it will succeed anywhere outside of North America, Korea is probably the best bet. The other big Korean story is the launch of FSD V14.1.4 to Model S and Model X owners with Hardware 4. The introduction of FSD V14 in South Korea opens up a significant opportunity for Tesla to convert existing owners in Tesla Korea's fleet into FSD purchases. I estimate that there are approximately 80,000 vehicles in the fleet running on Hardware 3 or Hardware 4. And while FSD subscription is not currently available in South Korea, it can be purchased outright for only around $6,000 US. But more than the potential of direct FSD sales, the real tailwind here is probably the additional attention that FSD's launch will bring to the brand. In other words, even if FSD launching in Korea doesn't directly drive material FSD sales, it should help them continue to sell more vehicles. Early reactions are positive. Let's see how this develops. Coming in at number 3, Tesla North America is launching a free 30-day trial of FSD to owners on FSD V14.2. So far, only vehicles equipped with Hardware 4 have access to FSD V14.2. And early feedback on it is almost unanimously positive. This is obviously a big deal, since all new vehicles sold in North America now use Hardware 4. And if Tesla can increase FSD penetration rate by even a small percentage, that will yield real results on the bottom line. Not to mention, this type of campaign carries very little cost to Tesla, and it serves as a great advertising platform for the vehicles, independently of whether or not this drives material incremental FSD sales. Tesla's brand is strongly associated with technology and innovation. Anything that strengthens that association will ultimately help differentiate Tesla from all of the other non-Tesla options out there and create more demand. At number 2, Norway. There has been a lot of negative news and noise about Tesla coming out of Europe. Indeed, Tesla sales in Europe have declined on a year-over-year basis. However, you wouldn't know it if you lived in Norway, where Tesla just set the record for highest ever vehicle sales by any brand in a single year, with 1 month and change left to spare. The biggest driver for this late year surge in popularity is driven by a proposed regulatory change in Norway, set to take effect in January 2026. Currently, electric vehicles under a certain price point, around 500,000 Norwegian krone, are fully exempt from the 25% value-added tax. But the threshold is expected to drop to 300,000 Norwegian krone, potentially adding 50,000 Norwegian krone, or $4,600 US, to the price. Currently, all Tesla Model 3s and all but the Performance Model Y are exempt from that value-added tax in Norway. This has prompted a wave of year-end purchases to lock in current pricing. The demand pull forward from Q1 will be significant, and this is to be expected. However, in the short term, this will really help Tesla outperform on the continent in Q4. Speaking of Europe more broadly, it is true that the year-over-year sales have declined. However, if we are to examine the quarterly sales trend, Europe sales have actually been recovering since bottoming out in Q2 of 2025. And finally, coming in at number 1, Waymo rideshare stats. While not a Tesla story per se, this infographic from Waymo is very relevant for Tesla's autonomy strategy because it shows that 90% of Waymo's rides are servicing 2 customers or less. It seems Tesla was absolutely correct in creating Cybercab as a small 2-seat option to minimize costs as much as possible, while still satisfying the vast majority of the rideshare market. And for those who need a robotaxi for more than 2 people, Tesla can easily design an option to call a Model Y to satisfy that niche. This probably warrants its own dedicated video, but suffice to say that Cybercab will be very inexpensive for Tesla to build, and thus, when used as a robotaxi, Tesla will be able to charge a very low price in the market and still run the vehicle profitably. This is what Elon thinks will unlock billions of future profit, because traditional rideshare will not be able to compete on price. Without a doubt, this was the most relevant and important news item for Tesla's long-term value this week. And that's all for this week. Until next time, thank you.